Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeffrey. Welcome back to Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 10 phrases you need to know for a date. Let's begin. 저랑 저녁 먹으러 가실래요? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? 저랑 저녁 먹으러 가실래요? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? I think that's kind of the phrase that you need to know for a date in any culture. Like having a dinner it means something special in Korea too. So that's kind of the way to see if the other person is interested in you or not. For example, like if you like someone, you can say 저랑 내일 저녁 먹으러 가실래요? Would you like to go out for dinner tomorrow with me? And if someone says 좋아요, like I like it, that means yes. There might be some cases that you might hear 글쎄요, or well, or like 벌써 약속이 있는데요, 선약이 있는데요, I already have a plan. That means that it's kind of no, like, so you have to be careful, like what's the meaning behind the excuses, like if that's real excuses or if that really means no, so that you don't misunderstand the meaning of the other person. 이번 주말에 시간 어때요? Are you free this weekend? 이번 주말에 시간 어때요? Are you free this weekend? So it literally means how is the schedule this weekend? So it is the phrase to ask someone like, what's the schedule? But for a dating, like that kind of situation, it means something like, would you like to spend weekend with me? Would you like to do something special with me? So instead of saying 이번 주말에 저랑 같이 있을래요? Like, which means would you like to be with me this weekend? It's better to say 이번 주말에 시간 어때요? Are you free this weekend? Because it's not direct and it doesn't show anything I love you or I like you, but just like kind of asking. 저랑 데이트 하실래요? Would you like to hang out with me? 저랑 데이트 하실래요? Would you like to hang out with me? That's direct, so not recommendable. So but some people might like that kind of phrase, but I think that's more likely, would you be my girlfriend, boyfriend, more likely the phrase to ask if someone really wants to be in a serious relationship with you. If you want to have, just first dinner or something, I think you have to save it for next round. But if you really want to be in a serious relationship, you can say 저랑 데이트 하실래요? Or like 저랑 사귀실래요? Like, would you be my girlfriend or boyfriend? 정말 귀여워요. You're so cute. 정말 귀여워요. You're so cute. If you are not good at Korean and if you use that phrase, I think people like it. Like, they might think that, oh, your Korean is very good because that sounds cute. But if you're fluent in Korean or if people know that you speak Korean well and if you use that phrase, I think that becomes a little bit tricky. So if you want to be cute, you can say that by saying you're so cute. Then the other person might say that 마이크 씨도 귀여워요. You're cute too, Mike, or something like that. But if you really want to be a serious relationship, like for a date, I think it's better to save it until you become a girlfriend or boyfriend of someone. And then when you're really dating, you can say, 정말 귀여워, you're so cute, often. It's better to say it often when you have to, but not too early. 멋져요, 예뻐요. You look great. 멋져요, 예뻐요. You look great. So 멋져요 means you look great, but more likely for men, it means something like you're handsome, you look like a man, you look great as a guy, like that kind of thing. You're fashionable. So if you're talking to a man, it's better to say 멋져요. 예뻐요 can be used only for women. So, when you want to say you're beautiful, you're fashionable, like you're adorable, then you can say this word, 예뻐요. 오늘 저녁 즐거웠어요. That was a great evening. 오늘 저녁 즐거웠어요. That was a great evening. I think that's kind of the good phrase to use after you have a dinner, or over the text messaging. You can say that 오늘 저녁 즐거웠어요. Or you can say that 오늘 저녁 좋았어요, which means literally like the evening was good. Like I had a really good evening. 전화할게요. I'll call you. 전화할게요. I'll call you. I'm not sure if people still use that kind of phrase because more often people just, give text message like over the mobile messengers. So I often hear something like 카톡 할게, which means I'll send you a message over the 카톡, like which is for Kakao Talk Messenger, or something like 라인 할게, I'll send you a message over the line, which is also the name of the application, because calling someone is getting a little bit like special these days. So but you can still like say 전화할게요, but also you can also say 카톡 할게요, like I'll send you a message over the KakaoTalk, or a message 할게요, I'll send you a message over the phone. 집까지 태워다 줄게요, I'll drive you home. 집까지 태워다 줄게요, I'll drive you home. After you have a formal meal and if you're a guy, I think that's kind of the thing that you can try to say if you have a car. But if you don't have a car, you can say that 집까지 데려다 줄게요. 태워다 줄게요 means that I'll drive you somewhere, but 데려다 줄게요 means I'll go there with you. I'll take you to some place. So, even if without a car, if you can take a subway together to, the other's home, like you can say that 집까지 데려다 줄게요. I'll take you home. 내일 몇 시에 만날까요? What time shall we meet tomorrow? 내일 몇 시에 만날까요? What time shall we meet tomorrow? Yeah, that's a good phrase to set up the appointment, what time you want to meet someone. In the past, there was the term saying Korean time, like, Korean people always being late for 10 or 15 minutes, so you have to be ready for that. I think not many people are doing it these days. Like when someone says at 4, that means that you have to be there at 4 o'clock. Don't worry about the kind of Korean time concept. But if you're a man and if you're dating with a girl, like it's kind of better to be there like 10 minutes before the time you set. So for example, like if you said 내일 몇 시에 만날까요? And the other said, 4시에 만나요, which means that let's meet at 4 o'clock. Then it's better to be at that place by 30-50 p.m. Like 10 minutes before 4. Or some people like to, set up the schedule like quickly. So in that case, you can say 내일 4시 어때요? What about 4 p.m. tomorrow? So that way you don't have to exchange message too much to set up the time. You just give the suggestion, and then the other says yes, then you set up the appointment. 또 볼 수 있을까요? Can I see you again? 또 볼 수 있을까요? Can I see you again? Still, many people in Korea are having a blind date. In that case, you see someone for the very first time, and you might just have to wait for the response to meet the person again. Like if, for example, you're a guy and you met a girl using the kind of blind date system or blind date company, you might not know like if you can see that person again or not. In that case, you can say that 또 볼 수 있을까요? Can I see you again? To make sure, like if, I want to see you again, so I hope to see you again, that kind of meaning behind. Okay, that's all top 10 phrases you'll need to know for date. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.